This is a great opportunity for us to hear and reflect on the interests of our community. I really appreciate people who hung with us tonight. Even the guys who are kind of jerks who come in and name call and swear and all that kind of thing, their perspective is an interesting one, and I'm not afraid to hear it. Their voices are not always heard, and they need to be heard, because the fact of the matter is there are a lot of people who demand basic city services. And if you read the front of the Oregonian last week, it highlighted a family, coincidentally of color, who waited an hour and a half for a police response. And sort of the glib reaction to that was, well, if the police weren't busy with the demonstrations, they would be able to respond. Well, the fact of the matter is our response time was slow before George Floyd was murdered. And we still have real shortcomings in our ability to respond either to gun violence. Commissioner Daley has raised on several counts the importance of the enforcement mechanism around Vision Zero, and are we adequately staffing and supporting that? There's been lots of calls for training and new ways of thinking in the police bureau, and I don't want to delude anybody into thinking that's going to come for free. It's not. There are parts of improving the public safety system that could well cost us more. And I'm excited about some of the alternative programs that we're looking at, the Portland Street Response and some of the other solutions that we've already put into place. And Dan, I really like what you just said. I think at some point we've got to get over ourselves and stop taking ourselves so seriously and acknowledge we're facing all these crises, COVID, the economic crisis, which is killing our small local businesses. We have the nightly demonstrations. We just got over the forest fires, the livability issues around graffiti and around litter. And the homeless crisis, which was already catastrophic before COVID, is only going to get worse without significant investments. And I've directed Jessica and Tom Reinhart and the Housing Bureau Director and the Prosper Director to give me a plan to open 300 more shelter beds so we can get people off the sidewalks and into a more humane place. So there's lots of opportunities here. I want to end on a positive note, though. I'm going to put a contrarian point of view out there, which is we will look back on this not as the worst of times, but as the best of times. What do I mean by that? I actually believe we will get over the COVID crisis. We will demonstrate an ability to get through that. And there are people all around the world looking for a vaccine and solutions to that. I believe we will have that vaccine. I don't know when. It probably won't be on November 1st, but we will have a vaccine. The economy will recover. And we're seeing cities like Portland and states all around the country focusing on small business resilience and education and job training and ways to keep people's heads above water. And then when it comes to issues around housing, the city's doing a great job. I think we can make inroads into the homeless crisis, and the forest fires will go out. And that will actually lead, I think, to a rethinking of how we manage our forests and what practices we use to mitigate fires, to protect our communities and also protect our environment. So we could actually look back on this and remember, yeah, it was a time of challenge, but it's also a time of transformation. And you and I, my colleagues, we're lucky enough to be here in these positions at this particular time in history to be able to help shape it. And yeah, it hurts. I don't like all the names I get called. And I agree with Vanessa, who said, don't let people bully me. I agree. There's some lines that have to be drawn, and I'm going to draw them. But I just want to say I appreciate working with you, my colleagues. I appreciate everybody who came out tonight.